Well, let's get right to our word of the day. The word of the day today is trust. Trust. And when I'm talking about trust, I'm not talking about trusting other people, which I'm not good at. That's why it's Therapy Thursday. I have to do that. I don't do that very well. But it's about trusting yourself, trusting your own instincts, trusting your own gut. Because all of a sudden the national media has a whole bunch to say about the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. All of a sudden. Now, they've won 10 in a row. So you think they have a whole bunch to say after 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins. But no. They waited till the 9th win to go, see, they're not that good. They can't pass. Then they get the 10th win, and now they want to chirp. And then we react to it. And the question becomes, why? If we trust our own eyes and we trust what we see, and we're the ones who follow the team each and every day, why are we worried about what the national media has to say, period? Good or bad, by the way. I'm not suggesting that we take in the good and we discard the bad or take in the bad. Or no, how about they got to fill time, but what exactly do they really know? What exactly do they really, really know? And the reason is because I feel very confident. Anyone that listens or watches this show, knows more about the Eagles than any national pundit. Now, you might not know more about football than a guy who's breaking down film, that played in the league, that coached in the league, etc. But when it comes to the Eagles, all of you unanimously know more than any national person because they're trying to fake like they know about all 32 teams when they know very little about all of them. People that cover the Giants know more than the national media about the Giants. People that cover the Cowboys know, etc. It's not just a Philadelphia thing. Philadelphia fans just happen to be very smart. But we know more. And then what I don't like to see is all of a sudden we don't trust ourselves. We'll go and let some outside person tell us something, and we react to that. And then there's another thing where I think we actually failed. Dominique Fox, we talked about on this show on Monday. On this show, we talked about the chain that Jalen Hurts wore to the press conference on Sunday. Now, does it matter in the grand scheme of things? Of course not. But he stepped out and showed people something that we had not seen in a while in Philadelphia, going back to the AI era. That thing had, at last check, I was trying to count the individual diamonds on close-up. I lost track at 8,742 diamonds, all on the one chain. I lost count. I was trying to go in with a loop, like I'm at the jeweler, looking and counting all the diamonds.
Did you have that little eyepiece?
Yeah, I had the loop, and I'm trying to count the diamonds. I was 8,642. Now, Dominique Foxworth made a joke about pretty privilege. It was clearly a joke. Well, he apparently we got all upset. No, come on now. We just watched Jalen Hurts lead our team to a 10th straight victory. Some national guy makes a joke, and then apparently he got bombarded in his mentions for making a joke. Why do we care that much what he says to say? We should trust our own eyes. Well, apparently, yesterday, Dominique Foxworth had to address what we were saying, the collective we were saying about him, and now he's firing off. This is what he had to say.
I made what I thought was a harmless joke about how Jalen Hurts is benefiting from pretty privilege, which he absolutely is a very attractive man. He's like Jimmy Garoppolo if Jimmy Garoppolo was good. And, of course, Jalen Hurts is an outstanding quarterback, but he be playing into his looks. And I just made a little joke. ESPN pumped it out over the interwebs, and apparently nobody in Philly got a sense of humor. Your stupid bell, too. What is that? That's not an attraction. Ain't nobody excited about seeing a broken bell.
We'll follow
up on like bells.
Have you been to the bell? Have you done the? What about the love little sculpture thing that they have? That's
nonsense. Nonsense. It's tiny. It's a tiny little sculpture that says love, and like your city hates everyone, and your parking authority is terrible, and your mass transit suck.
So obviously he fires back at us. But here's a question though: should we care? Or should we just trust ourselves that we know more about this city? Now, Ricky, we'll have you obviously comment on the sports and Savannah, but real fast. Liberty Bell as a whole, hold on. I need y'all to keep it real. Underrated, overrated, or properly rated? Just the Liberty Bell.
Overrated.
Savannah, just on the Liberty Bell part. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. Just the bell itself.
Probably. I mean, I don't hear it talked about that much, so maybe properly rated. But if anything, I wouldn't say underrated.
Okay.
People come here to see it.
People come from
it's a cracked bell.
I'm going to be honest. While he started talking about it, I started to Google what the history behind it was because I don't remember.
Well, I remember we had to go to. It was all part of a big thing.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
We had to visit it for field trips and stuff. And I'm not talking about like going where they signed the Declaration of Independence. I'm talking about that damn bell. I'm just saying. Well, we'll keep going. The PPA, he was right. I mean, the PPA. Right. I mean, he was right.
We can agree on that.
Right.
Yeah.
The PPA was bad.
Horrible. When I used to park in Philly all the time, I had 2-hour parking. I swear it'd be before 2 hours and I'd have a ticket. But it's like, how can I prove that I was there for less than 2 hours? So I just gotta pay it. Yeah, I was a recipient of a lot of tickets.
Yeah,
tickets.
so the PPA is terrible. But overall, the reason we get mad, I have to ask this question, Ricky, and then you'll take over.
Yeah.
And here's why I want to ask this question. Because you've been on both sides of it. You've been on the side of it of a person who wasn't born here. Mm-hmm. Actually, 3 different sides. Then a person who played here.
Yep.
And then in the media here. So you've been in 3 different kind of situations. Kind of things. Like as just a person moving here and choosing to stay here, an athlete, and then a media member. At times, I'm asking, are we a little bit insecure when we're putting so much stock in what the national media says when we're a sports town and we know what we're talking about? And then do we sometimes get too sensitive about what national people say when we should know better?
I think we definitely get too sensitive. I mean, you got to understand, these people, he's from England, by the way. You know that. He was born in Oxford, England.
He was.
He was born in England. All right, Big Ben Parliament guy. I don't, why do you care? Like, why do you I understand why you care because it gets out to millions and millions of people. But there's a lot of people that think, oh, the Liberty Bell, it's a cracked bell. What do they even have it for? I get that. I mean, yeah, there are some things, but you know what? As he was talking, did you see me chuckle?
You did.
Why? Why? There was one thing in there. I was like, wow, he's absolutely right about our public transit. It's just not that good.
It's just not that good.
But I mean, you have to really take things with a grain of salt. We take shots at other cities. I'll take my shots at other cities as much as I possibly can.
Yes.
Have I been to all of them? Yeah, pretty much. But, I mean, you never know if some of these guys have even been to Philadelphia. You bring up the Love Park. Why would you do that? Why? It's just a park that we have that has a sign in it that's supposed to be like open arms.
He was trying to think of Philly stuff.
And that's what you think of? Love Park?
Forgot about the portal.
Yeah, he brought it up.
We do have the portal now, you're right.
Because he got attacked for making a joke.
He did get attacked for making a joke. I look at it this way. You're absolutely 100% right in the fact that these guys are like 10%ers. They know about 10% of what's going on.
Right.
And I think that just proved it. He went to the PPA. Why? Because there was a television show about it.
Yeah,
if you think
I used to
about
watch
it.
that parking wars. The parking wars made them seem worse, not better. It made Detroit seem better. It seemed some other ones. When they came to Philly, I was like, this is even worse than I thought.
The Love Park thing, that got moved from park to park, and people are upset about that. And that was in the news not too long ago. But what is his problem? He's a sports guy. I didn't hear the Rocky statue in there, did you?
No.
Imagine that. That's or the art museum.
He did.
Yeah.
The art museum, the steps of the art museum. If you ask like 1,000 people about Philly, what's the one thing that sticks out to Philly? I bet you either the Rocky statue or the art museum steps would come out.
You know he couldn't say anything bad about Reading Terminal either.
No, you didn't.
Couldn't say anything bad about Reading Terminal.
Think about it. He goes after a piece of art.
And he didn't go after cheesesteaks, so you know he likes cheesesteaks.
But let's get to the whole point, though.
The whole point is they don't know diddly about Philly.
What's their motive?
Well, it depends, but it depends on the day. Sometimes it's being right. Sometimes it's putting us down. It depends on filling time because they're trying to fill time, and the Eagles are relevant. But it still goes back to that day, that word of the day of the trust when you're talking about yourself. In Philadelphia, and I really mean this, I need everybody to think about this on Therapy Thursday. A guy made a joke, we got upset. And I knew immediately he was joking. So then he tries to fire back because he's upset. Okay? When you get upset, you fire back. And some of that is human nature. Okay? Here's the difference. no one. Here's the people were really taking shots at him. Like I ended up looking at his mentions before. I looked at his mentions right before the show. Man, I mean, there's people who called him outside his name quite a bit. They went on him pretty hard, right? Who cares what this particular guy says? Who cares what they say? And the reason I say this isn't from a place of maturity. No, it's from a place of superiority. We know more than them about our teams, so why will we allow people who don't know anything to get under our skin? Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate it. If you want more of this content, make sure you like and subscribe. And you know you can do that kind of over here if you want more of the best show ever.